Hi guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about Cotton Cuts Gnome of the Month Club. So Cotton Cuts, if you don't already know, is a company that they have things like blocks of the month type things, right? Subscriptions, but the fabric comes pre-cut. So, and I'm not talking about like 10-inch stackers or whatever. They come actually cut, like the piece that needs to get sewn together for whatever the project is you're making. So I heard about them through one of the lives that Crystal Hart did on her channel. On that channel, during her lives, she talks about projects she's doing, but then we also kind of all talk about different clubs and kits and blocks of the month type things, as well as other YouTubers that are good to follow and all that. So anyway, so I heard about Cotton Cuts through the people in the group, and the puzzle mystery quilt was the first thing that I started with them. And so a new one was getting ready to start, so everybody was like, oh, did you sign up, blah blah blah. So they do have a way to try what they offer, I guess, the puzzle mystery quilt for free. They send you, they call it half of a clue and all that, and really it's just they're sending you the general idea of what it is you will get each month with their stuff. So try it out. If you doesn't even cost shipping or anything. It's totally free. They'll send you some stuff, and they're pre-cut pieces of fabric, and you can put them together in the pattern they give you or not, because it's nice fabric they sent. I got the one I did. I got some Tula fabric, and a couple other people I know that did too as well. Anyway, so I did sign up. I ended up signing up for the PMQ, the puzzle mystery quilt, and I got that. But as I was searching the site, I saw they do a Gnome of the Month club, and I love gnomes, and they're just so cute. And I hemmed and hawed for a little while, but after I got my first clue for the puzzle mystery quilt, that sold me, because cutting is my absolute least favorite thing about quilting or sewing in general, and their stuff comes already cut, and I don't have to do anything but sew it together, which is the best part. So anyway, so I signed up, and I signed up in February, and they or the beginning of February, maybe end of January, I don't remember. And it's meant to run from January of 2023, meant to run from January through December. So they send you, from my understanding, they send you all of them at once as soon as you sign up, all of the previous ones, because it seems as if other people have had the same situation. But I signed up in February, so I got January and February at the same time. So I'm going to show you what those look like. And then I completed one of the gnomes for the February, and I'll show you that. This is already opened already. But I will put out a video for March, and I'll do an actual unboxing, opening, and we can look at it for the first time together. Okay, so we'll start with January. Okay, January. This is what January's looks like. And so each month it's different, but you have your boy gnome and your girl gnome, and these are the accent pieces, and you can opt for just one or the other, both, or all four. I opted for all four because why not? And you also get to choose between regular cotton solids or batiks, and I chose the batiks because I like batiks and I wanted something a little different. Yeah. So anyway, so this is the January one, and on the back of the card is a recipe from the kitchen of Team Cotton Cuts, and the recipe comes from our chief fabric enthusiast, Kim. This recipe is made in her house every year to ring in the new year. So it's chocolate sauce for New Year's Eve fondue, adapted from Joy of Cooking. From scratch. That looks good. Anyway, and then they also have each month, it says, have you found the gnomes? Each month we hide gnomes on our website. Simply find them, enter your email to be entered to win one of 5 $25 gift cards. And they give you a little hint on here as well and what they look like. But yeah, so that's January. So when they come like this. See? So they're all already cut. I got my squares, primarily 2.5-inch squares, and half square triangles. And then the paper on the back is the pattern. So this one is the girl. And this is the boy, and pretty much all the packages are going to look the same. This one is accent 1 and accent 2. And I'll go ahead and give you a close-up of the fabric. I think I can probably show you through here. So you get this light blue, this kind of medium blue, and you get, let's see if I can show you. I might have to take that out. Let me go ahead and take it out. It's already opened. I've already opened it and looked at it, so. And their little cute stickers are on there. This is the one I opened, right? Oh. What happened? Huh. That's the one I opened. So if you go to Martha's Creative Life, she's another YouTuber. She's actually an ambassador for Cotton Cuts, and she, which is, I don't know the parameters of what the ambassador does, but it's something that Cotton Cuts asks her to do. So she does go through the stuff over there, and she puts together the January Gnome, and you can see what it looks like all together for you over there. But this is the, I'd say it's the light blue, but the white is almost like almost has a blue, it feels a little bluish. Anyway, and then here's the mid blue. You can see where that is on that, and then the dark blue. You can see what it looks like with those. And the nose. So the nose for this month is a very light pink. And so you can see it next to the white. It's very kind of. So I did email, oh, that's a good shot right there. I did email them about the nose colors, the skin color of the gnomes. Because I don't like to have just pink skinned gnomes. We have all shades in this household, so I try to have that show up in things around the house. So I asked about different skin colors and if it would be possible to get darker fabric for the nose. And the woman who answered the email, her name was Jessica, and she didn't know the answer to that, so she did go speak with someone who I think was the designer for these, and she got back with me really quickly on all this. She told me that the gnomes will have different colored noses every month, so there will be varying shades throughout the year, which I was perfectly fine with. As long as there are options, I'm okay with that. Okay, so that was January and February. Oh, and they also come with a block of the month. So this is January's block of the month, and there's a thing on the back of it for a color challenge, creative color challenge. Oh no, just color challenge. And it looks like you're supposed to color it in, and if you post it by a certain date, and you have a chance to win a prize. I haven't done that. I don't know why that confuses me, but it does. Anyway, February. Here's the February gnomes. So again, you have your boy and girl and your accent pieces, and then these are the color swatches for what you will be getting if you chose the solids or the batiks. And by the way, when you sign up, you sign up telling them what you want as far as these, and they send you the same thing every month. And if you want solids or batiks, and they send you that every month. Oh, and on the back of this, the recipe comes from our member care specialist, Jessica. Oh, that might be the same girl who helped me. This recipe is super quick and easy to make for her sweetie. Mini cheesecakes adapted from all recipes. Looks like a simple cheesecake recipe. And again, have you found the gnomes? There's a picture of more gnomes on here for you to find and potentially win something. Okay. So this is what February's look like. This one happens to be accent 1. And accent 2. And I'll show you the fabric close up. Again, they're all going to pretty much look the same. This one, this one's the boy, which I had started, but changed my mind how I was going to do it. So I took all the pieces off and did something else. And I'll show you what I did. And this one was the girl. By the way, these are my leftovers from doing the girl according to the pattern that they give. They give you extra pieces. They say to, what do they say, for, if you want to change it up a little bit, do something different, but I feel like it's for mistakes. But maybe not. Maybe they really do mean, you know, change it up, but in my book, extra pieces means for mistakes. Anyway, so these are my leftovers for the girl, so that's quite a bit. If you notice, the nose for the girl is a little different than, or the nose for February, a little different than the nose for January, right? You have a pink nose here, and you have a, like a light tan nose for February. So, and then the block of the month, again, that's the block of the month. Same deal with the color challenge, post it by a certain date, you can be entered to win. And then I'll show you, so I put together the February. This is what she looks like. she's a good size for wall hanging if you're just doing one. Good representation of the holiday or the time of year, and it comes out to be, what did they say? Let me see. They give the dimensions for what it should come out to be. 12.5 by 22.5, which I'm pretty close. So anyway, so this is the girl. And I was going to go ahead and quilt and bind it, but when I was thinking that I have 3 more of these and I'm not going to hang up 3 separate of these around my house, I said, well, let me wait and see, because maybe I'll put them together somehow and make one wall hanging. So what I decided to do different. So when you order from Cotton Cuts, when you order this from Cotton Cuts, they also give you the option to order, what do they call it? Quilt Smart Grid, I think is what they call it. It's a fusible on one side, like interfacing, and you fuse your pieces to it, and it helps you line up your pieces. It helps make things really straight, right? I didn't opt for that at the time. I wasn't quite sure what it was. I'd not used it before. I had since learned what it was. Purchased some elsewhere for a lot cheaper. By the way, Joann's Pellon quilting grid or quilt grid or something like that. The one that Pellon puts out are 1-inch squares, and the one that you get from these guys, I believe, are either 2-inch squares or 2.5-inch squares. I don't remember, but I'm okay with 1-inch squares. Also, depending on where you buy your quilting grid, your fusible from, there's a thickness difference. Obviously, the thicker it is, the harder it is to work with, sew with, etc. But I really like this stuff, and I plan on using it in a lot of things. I do not want to pay top dollar for it because it's not something that is going to be seen or really felt, because I can only see myself using this on wall hangings, not on actual quilts that will be used, because there is a feel to it, right? And even the thinner ones. But so what I did was I started my February boy gnome with just sewing it all up, right? And a problem of mine that I tend to do is I tend to stretch fabrics, and when you have really small pieces, there's not as much room for error. So I kept stretching my half square triangles, and I was getting very frustrated. And I had extra pieces for mistakes, or for changes, for alterations in the pattern. But I have extra pieces to use to make those changes. Anyway, so I decided to try something out. So the way Cotton Cuts expects you to use the grid is with your 2.5-inch squares. You sew your half-inch, your half square triangles separate, and then you treat that as a 2.5-inch square and sew them together with the quilting grid. What I decided to do, because my stretching comes with the half square triangles, is I decided to put the half square triangles on the quilting grid, and they came out beautifully. You can't really see it from the back. You can primarily, and maybe you can a little bit. You see the line back there? That's from the first set of paper for the half square triangle, and then I fused that whole piece with the quilt grid on it still to a new piece, and sewed it all together. And it came together really quick. I decided to press my seams open. You don't have to do that. You can press to one side or the other, but I tried both ways, and it does come out really flat when you press them open. So I decided to do that. It was extra work, especially in the areas where I made some mistakes, but so like, you know, where I cut my seams a little bit too small, and I didn't have much to work with, but it came together so quick and easy. And if you have not used quilter's grid or quilting grid, I'm trying to see if I have my, oh, I do. Let me get it. All right. And Pellon Quilter's Grid, 820. So for those that want to see it, I buy it by the bolt. Much cheaper that way, and if you wait for a sale, then you can obviously get your best deal with Joann's. So this is what it looks like. These are 1-inch squares. It's smooth on one side, and on the other side it's got the fusible on there. Use it just like interfacing or stabilizer or things of that nature. You know, you use your iron, line up your pieces. I believe Martha, on Martha's Creative Life, she shows you how to use it on there, and she puts her January gnome together that way, so you can see it on there. But yeah, so that stuff is awesome. You can opt for it through Cotton Cuts and get theirs, and they'll send you a sheet for each one you get every month, or buy it through Joann's. So yeah, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below.